Good morning, everybody, and it's bonus day 101 for me. Um, I yesterday I had done a live video thanking people on my bonus day 100. So I want to go back and revisit that because for some reason the live video has disappeared. I never know what's going to happen when I do them. And after the quality, when I was at the Walmart, I decided, you know what, I need to do it on my laptop and then upload it. That way I know that it's actually going to appear there and it's going to be of good quality. At least I hope it's of good quality. But I wanted to thank those little angels at Walmart and all of them on our path through the 6 states. We finally arrived in Indiana. This is my hometown. I'm back where I was born and raised, the city with a heart. And I've already had some doors closed in my face, or some that just won't even chat with me. I'm sorry if my light is blinding the demons that are within you. Um, I never have experienced any of that. Pretty much the whole trip. Ex- I just haven't. Everybody has been loving and kind. We've all are like-minded. We all have the same mindset and vision about how bad it is in the world and how we're all trying to do our little part to add love and kindness and with our lamp oils. So, Barbara Cherry, I don't want you to take this the wrong way, and hopefully you won't. I know you're older than me. I'm 56. Um, my grandma June used to smoke, and when I met you, you reminded me of her. I could feel that fire in you. No doubt, you were sent from heaven, and so was your friend. And I'm sorry I forget her name. But I'm going to do a picture for you and I will get it to you, whether I personally deliver it or, um, or I have to send it to you. Hopefully I can personally deliver it though. I would much rather do that because I would much rather see you again and give you another hug. Instead of getting a room with that donation that you gave our ministry, I spoke with my BFF here in Indiana, and I didn't realize how close I was to home. I think it was 7 hours. Well, that was doable. Not in that night because there was so much rain, but I did drive like 2 hours and stayed at a rest stop. And, you know, it's it's amazing when you have like-minded people that have been put on your path, how it overflows your lamp oil. And most people that have tuned in that aren't, from my hometown don't understand the magnitude of Abraham Lincoln in my life. My entire life, he's been my mentor outside of God because he was a man and he was honest. And I always looked up to him for his honesty. And despite all of his obstacles in his life and all of these um, hiccups that he experienced, he kept fighting and he kept fighting and fighting and fighting. And I have a lot of that in me too. So, Barbara Cherry, with your money and the funds from my BFF, Michael I. Negro, I was on Abraham Lincoln's roadway, and unbeknownst to me, I was there and I kept seeing him and I went, okay, thank you. And then all of a sudden I came to the sign for his hometown, his birthplace, and I had to pull in yesterday. Another gift. I got to see where he was born. I got to see his family home. And when I drove in, they weren't open until 9, and I think I drove in at like 7-ish, something like that, because the gate was open. So I decided to drive in. You have to know the rules in order to break them intelligently. So I saw a car in the parking lot, and I saw like a little gator type of vehicle, and I saw the bathrooms open. So I got out of my Jeep and left it running because I've got a hiccup there somewhere. And I started calling, hello, hello, because I didn't want to scare anybody. You know, when you're the only one there, and all of a sudden you walk out and there's somebody standing there. The worst thing in there, I mean, it just scares you just because you're caught off guard. I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to scare them on Sunday morning. So I'm like, hello, is anybody here? Somebody's got to be here. Hello. And here's this man that comes out. And I tell him a abridged edition of my story of being a tax collector and now being a minister, and that we're on a mission trip, and how much Abraham Lincoln has been a part of my life. I mean, at my office, I had statues of him. I didn't idol him. I just looked up to him. He's the only one I'm ever going to idol, is God and his son Jesus. Um, so he could see the emotion that I had, just like now, just driving there, the chills that I had. I just kept looking up and saying thank you, because my entire life I've always wanted to go there. And driving through Chicago, there's a museum there. But that's not where I needed to go. I needed to go to his birthplace in Kentucky. And this gentleman, and I'm so sorry I can't remember his name. I've met so many people. I need to start writing people's names down. That's it. That way I can thank all of the angels that have been put on our path. And you know who you are. Even the people that we've met at Starbucks, just lift up my hand of grace. We love you. It was reciprocated. So he felt my heart. He saw my tears. And he told me I could walk around, but the buildings were closed and it didn't matter. I just could feel the love on this land. And I was supposed to be there. I could feel it. So as I walked, he told me the Serenity Pond and where his birthplace was. So I immediately started walking there and stopping and looking at the signs, and collected 3 black walnuts from the black walnut tree that kept going. You kept, hey, at least they're not coconuts, but still, I'm sure they could whack you pretty good. So I collected 3 of them so I could plant them places. Um, and I never liked black walnuts, so I might have to try them again, because you know how your taste buds change as you age. So so Hannah and I went down to the Serenity Pond. Oh my gosh, it was so peaceful, and I videotaped it. It was so beautiful. And then we walked up to his birthplace, and I walked around it. And as I started to walk down, I got weak in the knees and dropped to my knees in tears, thanking God for that beautiful gift, that he put all these angels in my path to take me to something that was so beautiful and so meaningful to me. Most people can't even understand it. But he was a president that was about the truth. And he was honest and freed slaves. And you know what? We all have our issues. But all in all, He was a man of honor and integrity and a man of God. So this man felt it so much, and knowing that I went from a tax collector to a minister, he put this badge on the handle of my car so I didn't miss it. And he goes, "Can you come here with a minute? I need to show you something before you leave. I need to turn some lights on." And he took me in and showed me Abraham Lincoln's family Bible. That to me was like his holy grail. And although his doesn't look like mine, mine's been through a war zone, literally, because my Jeep has become our primary residence. That's all I needed to see, truly. I didn't even know it existed. And on a Sunday, to top it off, I just started bawling and gave him the biggest hug, thanking him, because I didn't care what else was in that building. That's all I wanted. That's all I needed. That's why I was led there, to see the manual that he used to run the world. That's all we need. We don't need an authoritative person in charge. If everybody would just open this Bible and adhere to it, we wouldn't need law enforcement. We wouldn't need judges and attorneys and all this nonsense, because we'd live in peace and harmony. And those that would think they were going to bring their darkness would find out real quick that it's not tolerated in a society built on the principles and the rules and the laws under God. That's what this world is lacking. They have taken this so out of context and destroyed it and made it so ugly in this world. When is enough enough? So I want to thank Barbara Cherry, Michael, all the Michaels, all the gal at the rest stop that the Jeep wouldn't start. And she gave me this little charger, and she's former military. I'm sorry, I can't remember your name. You were a sweetheart. You're a sister for life with me. I do remember the guy that had the truck. His name was Brian. It's odd that there's certain names that stick and others don't, just like the high school girl, I thought she was in college, that had the jumper cables at Walmart, because I'm still waiting for Geico. Worthless company, just like the rest of part of this web of tyrant regime. To the gentleman at the gas station, I believe it was in Rochester, I asked too at the pump. I was headed to my dad's to surprise him. He didn't answer. His van was there, so he must have been out with someone else. So then I took a drive and on fumes made it to my BFF's, and he wasn't there either. So then I stopped and saw another BFF, my friend Jilly. And they surprised me and gave me some money for our ministry so I could put more gas in the tank. And then another sister, Kelly, hooked us up with a room for a couple of nights. So it's amazing, all of these people that God has put on our path. And they've all been loving and kind. And it's just beyond heartbreaking to come into my own hometown and see the people go into hiding and close the doors. Why? Because the truth hurts. It shouldn't. The truth should fill your heart with love. Why does the truth hurt so bad? Because your demons can't handle it? I don't know. But all I know is if somebody's going to fabricate a story in front of me, I will call them out on it. I'm not tolerating it any longer. I've lived with it so long and been silent long enough that I finally have not an ounce of tolerance for it whatsoever. It's not my first rodeo. Like this, come and make me. They can't get past Hannah. Most people that live in fear with their demons can't get past Hannah. I don't need a gun. It's funny how that works. Just like this morning in this hotel. Can you get your dog? I said, she's right here with me. You need to move her out of the breakfast area. I said, I need her to walk. So she's allowed in the breakfast area. She's a service dog. Well, did they knew that when you came in? I said, oh, yes, they knew that crystal clear. I made that crystal clear. Then when I asked for a blanket, they asked me to come down and pick it up at the front desk. I said, I'm not capable of coming down there right now. I'm not well. So I'm still waiting for the blanket from the front desk. And I asked for that 2 hours ago. So we'll see if I eventually get a blanket or not. That's the injustices of this world. And their landscaping in the front is a freaking hot mess. Cleanliness is next to godliness. The back of the building is even worse with the trash everywhere. They're all about money, 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 money. But heaven forbid they respect our founding father, the one that created it all. So, love to all bunches and bunches. Bye.